There are numerous things that can destroy a company value, especially in a sale. Let's talk about a few. First up, poor quality of earnings. Very common theme we see in companies. By quality of earnings, I mean the quality of your financials and how accurate they are in determining your true earnings so the buyer can gauge the real potential of your company. This is important to the buyer because this reduces the purchase risk for the buyer, especially if they're using your company cash flows to finance the acquisition. For example, if you have inaccurate and missing records or incorrect revenue recognition issues within the company, this may hurt your company value. Next up is an inefficient business model which can turn off buyers quickly. Buyers realize that it's going to cost them a pretty penny to buy a business. Therefore, they want to buy businesses that can support their own cash needs so they don't have to continually put in additional money to support company growth. Let me give you a few examples of how the business model can impact purchase price negatively in some instances. If your company requires constant innovation because its products become obsolete quickly, that may reduce the purchase price. If your company requires significant working capital and/or heavy annual capital expenditures to support its growth, this may turn off certain types of buyer too. We often get calls from buyers for innovation-light, working capital-light, and CapEx-light businesses. This is because if the capital requirements are heavy, this will not only require the buyer to come additionally out of pocket or borrow more money, but this will likely reduce the buyer's rate of return on the acquisition, especially in the early years. Let's move on to company performance. Most business owners realize that declining company performance is bad, but often they don't realize how bad. Feast or famine revenues and profits increase uncertainty and therefore increase buyer risk, and as a result may reduce purchase price. So for example, if you have a business that has unpredictable revenues or declining margins and profits, this will likely not serve you well. Let's talk products and services, because they also play an important role in company valuation. The more proprietary your products and the better your competitive advantage, the higher your potential company valuation. Conversely, if you have a company with commoditized products, low margins, or lower than industry margins, or if your company's products and services are highly sensitive to pricing, this creates an additional layer of risk for the buyer, because they may not be able to pass on cost increases to customers without losing market share. As a result, they will demand a lower purchase price to compensate for the risk. Next, let's address margin drain. Companies are laden with inefficiencies, and this can cause dramatic margin drain in the underlying business. For example, these can be items like production bottlenecks, errors and rework, and improper purchasing controls, etc. These serve as great opportunities for an experienced buyer because they will likely buy your business on the basis of its cash flow, and if it's depressed due to these inefficiencies, the opportunistic buyer can take advantage of these inefficiencies and quickly plug the margin drain. In other words, they bought the business cheaply because you as the business owner were not focused on fixing the margin drain in the first place. So here's what you need to do. Put on a value-focused lens. Many of these value destroyers can be remedied through smart planning well in advance of a future sale of your business. Not only will fixing these issues maximize the sale price of your business, but it will improve performance, making you a better, more profitable, and valuable company along the way. Rare Brain Capital helps companies like yours improve performance and sell for maximum value. How ready is your company to grow or sell? Come see how you're doing. Get your free score and customized report in just a few minutes at no cost or obligation. Visit rarebrain.com/score.